Hello, everyone. This is Project 24. I'm Adrian. I'll be your host today. Uh, Not really. It's Thursday night. All I'm gonna say is it's Thursday night. It's about 9:45, and I just finished watching that Habs game, and I'm not really in the greatest mood right now. But I'm gonna just fucking push through this. Uh, I never really get upset about the fucking games that much. But this one really is bothering me. Like, why Arjano and Sherratt still playing in overtime? Why? Fuck, man. Played so well and one of the better games they've played in a while, and they still fucking lost. Anyways, I'm not gonna get too much into that. We have some other topics I like to discuss, but I mean, I know it's a little bit late. It's Thursday night for this, but Sunday night we had the Golden Globe Awards, and just wanted to first off and say shout out to Chadwick Boseman for winning a Golden Globe for Best Actor. You know, it was his last movie. It was for his role in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. That was the movie that he was in. He won an award for Best Actor. What a Golden Globe! And I'm happy that the Golden Globes decided to do that for him. And I saw his widow, Simone Ledward. She obviously accepted the award on his behalf and gave a very heartfelt speech, and it's very moving. I was obviously a big fan of Chadwick Boseman. Him being Black Panther was quite. He was good. He was fantastic as Black Panther, like fantastic. Um, I think for him too, he wasn't just like an actor. I think he was a superhero away from Marvel too. Because when he passed away, I saw a lot of the social media um, comments, especially and more so like the black community, and they I can't obviously I can't understand this, but I do understand it in a certain way, I guess. It's pretty awesome. But he really did empower the black community in many ways. Be obviously being a black man in a lead role for a superhero and a black superhero, it was very empowering to young black men, especially, but women as well. But I mean, a lot of the young black men looked up to him in many ways, and that's very admirable, and I like that, and we could all cherish that, and just how empowering he was for a community, and yeah, I'm still like I can't believe he's gone. I remember when I found out the news, I was about to go to sleep. I had to work. It was a Friday night, and I had to work the next day, and kind of just surfing through my phone, and I just saw that it just popped up on my Instagram feed, and I was like, "Holy shit!" That is Yeah, I was really upset. I was really, really, really like upset. I was like, um, so young too, and like nobody really knew what was going on. Like no one knew he was sick. I didn't even know he was sick, to be completely honest with you. I had no idea that he was sick. Um, they had cancer. He had colon cancer. I remember they showed a video of him last year, like or the year before that or something. 2019 it might have been, or like late 2019, early 2020, and he looked really skinny and sickly, and people were like calling him Crack Panther and stuff like that. But nobody knew what was going on. I bet a lot of those people realized like, yeah, he wasn't doing well. He was sick, obviously, and they didn't realize that there was something wrong. And even like people were actually, and at that same time, I remember there was raising concern. Like fans were actually concerned about his health. They're like, oh, he does like, you had the people making the jokes, but then you had the people that were like, actually, like, yeah, he does not look healthy. And yeah, like it just even I was like, yeah, like he does that. doesn't look like, he doesn't look okay, and I didn't obviously no one really knew. We kind of just kept it away from the public, which I respect. There's nothing wrong with that. Everyone wants to deal with it differently, right? That's how he wanted to deal with it. That's how his family, his wife wanted to deal with it. And that's okay. Um, but yeah, that was amazing, amazing move. Shout out to the Golden Globes for doing that, honoring such a great actor and a great person, in a great way. So again, rest in peace, Chadwick. And yeah, this one still hurts. But again, shout out to the Golden Globes. Uh, Jason, this one's a little bit more funny now. Kind of had the more serious part. Now we're gonna have the funny part of the Golden Globes. But did you guys see Jason Sudeikis when he won the Golden Globe award? And holy fuck. First off, he was wearing that fucking tie-dye hoodie. And like, did you guys see his eyes? I think he like popped a fucking edible before he went on the fucking set there. He looked fucked. He looked like he was freaking high as giraffe balls there, man. Like, oh, that shit was so funny. Oh my god, I couldn't believe it. And he was just going on about the birds and the bees and shit. And he was just like, I don't think he had any idea what the fuck was going on. He was just going on about nothing and talking about his kids. Like, fuck, it was fucking crazy. I think at even one point Don Cheadle was trying to like cut him off and being like, "Yo, dude, like, that's enough. Like, you're good. You're good. You said your speech. Now just fucking move on." Oh man, Sadiq. Man, honestly, I'm a big Jason Sudeikis fan too. He's been in some great movies. Like, one of my favorite. I think one of the funniest movies I ever saw was We Are the Millers with him and Jennifer Aniston. And oh man, that was a great movie. Oh, he was so funny in that one. That's again just the guy is just top notch. The guy's so fucking funny. Oh, Horrible Bosses he was in too. Oh man, the guy's top notch. It's just the fact that he's like in that state there, it just makes him even funnier, man. Like, shout out to Jason Sudeikis, bro. Good for you, bro. Just getting high as draft balls on a fucking awards show. Like, good for you, man. Good for you. I respect the grind. Oh man, that's some good shit though. Some really good shit. Gotta respect it. But anyways, we're gonna be moving on here. But yeah, the Habs fired Stefan Waite the other day. He was obviously a lot of Habs fans know. Maybe for any of the hockey fans that didn't know, he was the Habs goalie coach for 8 years. He was replaced by Sean Burke, which personally I'm okay with that. I mean, goalie coach is a goalie coach. I mean, they are important. Um, Goalie coaches are very very important. They can either be really good for the goalies, or they can be really bad. I'll give an example of a situation that was bad, but I don't know if you guys remember when Francois Allaire was the Toronto Maple Leafs goalie coach, and I think they had, excuse me, they had the tandem with Jonas Gustafsson and I think it was Vesatoskala. Yeah, I think it was. Or no, J.S. Shiger too. They had a bunch of fucking goalies, but anyways, yeah, like Gustafsson came from the Swedish league. He had the high hopes of him. He had the 5 straight shutouts. I remember in the 08-09 season in the Swedish league, I think it's called, and came to North America, and obviously the Leafs signed him, and just never just got off on the right foot. And I remember hearing rumors. I think from TSN and even like other people too, that just suggestions and opinions. And from maybe what it seemed like Allaire was trying to change Gustafsson. So as he's trying to change him as a goalie. So that's not really good. As a coach, you want to try and improve their mechanisms or their form. You can't really change the whole player, right? Or players. So you kind of got to work with what you got and try to make them better from there, right? It's hard to like just completely like redevelop a player. It's hard though, but anyways, I don't want to go too off topic, but yeah, apparently again the fans in the fucking French media again was just fucking freaking out about that. Uh, Personally, I don't see the big deal why they were freaking out so much. Maybe it's because again they fired a francophone coach, a Quebecer coach, and replaced him with an English anglophone coach. Could be it. I don't know. I mean, that's a good fucking suggestion, I think. Like, who cares? Like, he doesn't speak to the media. He just deals with Price and Allen or whoever's backing up Price. Just deal with them. They don't got to really speak to the media. Who cares? It doesn't. Man, man, I don't know. Fucking Habs fans and media, just find the fucking. They're just reaching for things to freak out at now. They're just reaching hard, which is normal for this fucking fan base and this media, this hockey market as a whole. Um, Honestly though, again, and let me just make this clear: like Price and Stefan Waite had no like issues or anything. I just heard before I went on here that apparently I think it was yesterday morning when he got fired. Price went to his house after practice to go check up on him and see if he was okay, and so right away. Again, there was no Price was not a factor in this. This was just obviously a business decision. Maybe Bergevin wanted to change. Obviously with Price struggles. But anyway, before we get into that, yeah, Carey Price had a bounce back game the other day, which I'm happy for him. Played great against Ottawa. Good for him to get his confidence back up a little bit. I'm happy for Carey. Let me make this clear. When I was talking about what's wrong with Carey Price in the previous episodes, I think most people that know me, like again, I've always been a Carey Price fan. I was riding Carey Price when he was struggling in his sophomore year, and the fans were trying to run him out of town. And I was still wearing his jersey I remember when Yaroslav Halak beat the Capitals in the Game 7, and in 2010, and obviously it was all about Halak. I was still wearing my Carey Price jersey because I knew he was the guy in the end. I knew like deep down that he was gonna be the guy, and I rode my Price jersey. I still have it in my room. I hung it up because it's a thing of beauty. But yeah, like I mean, personally, again, I think a new voice would be okay for Price though. I mean, this is his third goalie coach, I think, in his career. So it should be okay. I mean, personally, it is Carey Price. I mean, he has the ability to rebound. He played great the other night. I hope he keeps it up, gets that confidence back up. So, again, I hope he does well. One thing again, Sean Burke does have a good reputation of being a great goalie coach. A good reputation. I've heard a lot of good things over the years about him. He's been around since he retired from hockey. He's been around coaching, goaltending coaching around a lot. And he was the Coyotes goalie coach, I remember back then. I think into 10 years ago, 2011, 2012 season, almost 10 years ago. Fuck me. I was 15 back then. Holy shit, I feel old. But yeah, he was their goalie coach back then, and he helped Mike Smith have that career season with the Coyotes, where he brought them to the third round. Like that was a lot of it was with Sean Burke's coaching. Him coaching them. So hey, man, you don't know, he can turn it around too. Sean Burke's got a great ability. I've heard good things about him, nothing but good things about him as a goalie coach. So yeah, we'll see how that goes though. But again, yeah, with Carey Price though, like I mean, one thing again I really respect about this organization is that they've stayed really loyal to him in throughout his career. They've been extremely loyal. excuse me. From Bob Gainey to Pierre Gauthier to Marc Bergevin now, and all the coaches in between, they've stayed loyal to him and never doubted him from day one. I know Bob Gainey was a big believer in him back then, and I mean the team, the organization's invested a lot of time and resources, money, into Carey Price's career, into improving his play, and whatever it takes to build a good team around him, and whatever it may be, they've really done a lot to accommodate him. Maybe is the word to say. Um, but yeah, no, obviously you gotta. That's how you gotta treat your star players, though. I like that. I like that they've accommodated him and they haven't given up on him. When there was times maybe like the opinion, the public opinion was that it was time to give up on him. Yeah, when he had that horrible sophomore season, it was after the All Star game. I remember that year he was playing pretty. He was playing good. He wasn't like spectacular. He was good, but not like spectacular. Had After that All Star game, just went to downhill. I remember actually Angie Price, his wife, had like a whole timeline of like because they've been together for a long time, from like when they dated till like marriage now. And during that '09 season, she basically admitted that they broke up during that season. So I bet you, I don't want to start, I don't want to start being a guy like that, but I bet you maybe that breakup probably had an influence, not an influence, but like was a reason why he struggled. He didn't look like he was into it mentally. He looked like he was really just not enjoying himself, and it was sad to see. And yeah, it was, obviously he's being one of my favorite players and my favorite goalie in the league at the time, and he still is. But 12-year-old kid, right? And I'm seeing him struggle like that. And there was a lot of things going on in my life that year, in our family's life, and um, yeah, it was just pretty sad to see stuff like that. Um, yeah, but again, he bounced back. Obviously Angie came back in his life, and he bounced back, and he's doing okay now. He's struggling again, but I really think he will bounce back. I hope he does. Personally, I hope he does, just for his sake. For his sake personally. Obviously for the fans too, fellow fans, but just for his sake too. Like I don't know if I've told the story about him. I met him actually uh, right before the Olympics in 2014. February 2014, I met Carey Price, and he was signing autographs somewhere in Toronto. I think it was Frozen Pond, AJ Sports World, one of these autograph places. And yeah, it was just such a nice man. I remember I was still in high school at the time, man. Fuck, that's so long ago, 2014, 7 years. Fucking hell. But anyways, yeah. I remember telling him, I was like, "Hey, Carey," I was like, "You're gonna be the starter of the." This was right before the Olympics, by. This was probably a couple of weeks before the Olympics, and I was like, "Hey, Carey, you're gonna be the starter for Team Canada in the Olympics, and you're gonna win the gold medal for them. I know you're gonna do it." And he's like, "Oh, thanks, man." He's like so like calm and like collected, and and he was like so nice about it. He's like, "Oh, thanks, man. That means a lot." And I was like, "Yeah, man, like you're gonna do it. You're on a high this year, and you're gonna get her done." And look what he did. He played spectacular in the Olympics, and um, the rest is history. And he started really the peak of his peaking at that point. For a couple of years there, he peaked with the Olympic gold medal, and cleaning up at the awards ceremony the next year, winning the Hart Trophy and the Vezina, and I can't remember what the other award was, but yeah, that was really when Price. And then the year after that, he played good despite the team missing the playoffs. So that was really when he started peaking really good. And uh, yeah, I don't know. Again, shout out to Carey Price, man. We love you here in Montreal. I personally am such a huge fan of you. It was absolute honor to meet you. You probably don't even know who I am. Fuck, you met so many fans over the years. You probably don't even know who the fuck I am, but that's okay. I get it. I'm not offended. But yeah, I mean, I would like to honestly. Where's the time goes on? Oh, I got to fart. Oh, hopefully that picked that up. But um, yeah, I like to go more. Maybe in like one of these future episodes, I'll talk about all the players that I've met, all the I mainly met hockey players. I'd like to talk about that and my experiences with them, and yeah, that'd be cool. Probably a lot of people are wondering because I've talked to a lot of people about this stuff, and maybe I'll try and get the pictures. Some of them are gonna, I don't know where some of the pictures are, but man, I've met a lot of hockey players, but definitely like to bring that up in another episode soon. Uh, but yeah, so continuing on with our hockey, I mean, I think the rest of the content for the episode is going to be about hockey, but yeah, with the whole Tony DeAngelo situation there, he hasn't played in like over a month now. His last game with the Rangers was like January 31st or February 1st or something. That was like officially when they kicked him off the team. They were trying to find a trade partner. So Jeff Corton's been trying to look for a trade partner for the last month, and nobody really wants him. Um, yeah, that's pretty fucking bad. I think his time in the NHL's done unless maybe he kind of redeems himself. Maybe he becomes a better teammate. He learns from this. Um, so he's looking at a American Hockey League AHL loan. He told the Rangers maybe if they could loan him to an AHL team. His agent's obviously trying to work hard to get a team going too, from what I heard. TSN's Frank Saravalli broke that news. I want to say my source. Um, yeah, he's working on trying to get a deal. We'll see how that goes. Personally, I know he's not very popular in the hockey world in terms of the fan side of it. Hockey Twitter hates him for obviously being a very outspoken conservative Trump supporter. Um, and he does have a bad history of I think he might have said some like racist things about like an old teammate in like junior or something. He got suspended for it. It was something like that. So I don't know if it was racist or something discriminatory. They didn't really go into details about that. The all it says is discriminatory words from what I read. Um, Either way, it's still wrong. I think. Uh, he's obviously a problem in the dressing room because I was talking about when the news broke out about him before, how him and Gorgiev don't like each other. They didn't get along, and apparently it dates back to their days in the Hartford Wolfpack back in 2017. So they have a bad history together, and they got into a fight after the game, and it was just a shit show. And obviously, he's caused a lot of friction in that dressing room. Man, I don't know, man. I like Tony DeAngelo as a hockey player. I mean, he had a great season last year. He was like one of the league leaders in points for a defenseman, and just looking like he's gonna take the league by storm. But I mean, he's awful defensively. Let me just say that he's garbage defensively, garbage, absolute trash. But again, he's a serviceable player in the sense of him, being a power play specialist. But that's about it. He moves the puck really well. He skates pretty well too. He's got a good shot. No defensive skill whatsoever. But hey, they put him out there as a power play specialist, and that's it, right? So, yeah, we'll see what happens with him. Personally, I don't know if the Laval Rocket would take him, Montreal's farm team. I don't know. I mean, I personally think if he doesn't get an AHL loan, I think he's going right to Russia, playing in the KHL there. That's where all the NHL rejects go, where they do bad things or say bad things, and that's really you know that's fucking right there. So yeah, we'll see what happens with Tony D. I don't know. Um, but yeah, no, this has been the biggest kind of news right now. There's rumors circulating around this, but man, like, what's going on with Jack Eichel and the Sabres? Like, oh my god, man, that team. I don't know. I feel bad for their fans personally. Like, they, the Sabres have had the worst track record like in the last 10 years. They since '07 actually. Let me like make this clear. Um, The Sabres have only made the playoffs twice since 2007, since they lost Briere and Drury that summer. I remember that summer. I remember where I was when I heard the news that Briere and Drury were gone. I was, ironically enough, I was going to Buffalo July 1st, 2007. Little Adrian family going to Galleria Mall back when it was worth shopping down there with the dollar difference and stuff like that. We used to do it as a family trip once a year. But yeah, I remember we heard it on the radio because we were keeping track of the free agency. My dad and my brother and I, we were keeping track of the free agency on there, and we heard he let Briere went to the Flyers, and again, it was like it was literally looking like Briere was gonna go to the Habs, and then apparently last minute he took the Flyers, and like Hab fans fucking hated him for so long for that. But and then Drury went to the Rangers, and I was like, oh man, I knew that was the beginning of the end for Buffalo. So they've been really bad since they lost those two. Um, man, going back to Jack Eichel though, but his future, man, it's looking really thin. Buffalo, I don't know, like it's just I feel bad for those fans. Like I said, that's just horrible track record since like '07, since they lost the dynamic duo there. Not good. Not good at all. Um, man, I'm telling you, the Buffalo Bills are stealing more of the spotlight, more as of late than the Sabres have been. It's just my God. Like I don't know what the team does, like or what they can do. It just seems like whatever they try just fucking blows up in their face. Like, holy Lord. Like how many players have they like traded for, free agency, draft, like tried to build around Eichel, like even like the countless coaches and GMs that they've had since Eichel's been there. It's just holy Lord. It's just no matter what they can do, like no matter what they do, they're fucked. Like, oh my God. And just like man. And he's just does not look happy there. The last little while, the last few years, he just did not look happy there. He hasn't looked happy there. Not has didn't, but he's just I don't know. I don't know why he signed that 8-year deal. Then if he always looks angry. Whenever he talks to the media after a loss, he looks angry. I mean, he got a coach and a GM fired once. um, just countless things like, and now the latest is because Ralph Kruger, who's the coach for Buffalo right now, the current coach, said that he got injured last Thursday, a week ago, against the Devils in warm-up. It was like an injury in warm-up. And Eichel contradicted his comments and said, no, he didn't get injured, and that's not true. So, man, that's just fucking bad. So bad. I just when your franchise player turns around and says, "Nah, that's bullshit," and like steps on the coach's toes like that, there's problems. Personally, I don't know how long he has left in Buffalo. It's such a great hockey player. Just man, he's just so electrifying. He can carry a team. He again carries Buffalo every night. Um, Not playing great this year though. He's been struggling, but personally, it's just like injuries and just again, COVID just fucked everything up with these guys, with these players. Just not playing hockey for a long time. It's hard to get fucking back into it. Playing competitive games. Never mind just skating. You know, you're practicing and your summer workouts and shit. Like it's like playing in game. Like it's hard, man. Like it's hard not being in a competitive mindset like that for a long time. But I mean, I've heard some rumors, potential landing spots, for Mr. Eichel there. I heard the Kings at one point. I heard the Bruins. Heard the Habs. I mean, just people talking about it. I think the Habs are not going to get him. And then I heard the Rangers too. Personally, I think the only team, and I've been hearing this too. Apparently, this is according to the Athletic. Sorry, an anonymous NHL executive said that he'll end up on the Rangers. So Jack Eichel will end up on the Rangers, according to an executive, just anonymous. Could be true, it could be not true, but it does make sense to go to the Rangers for the as a trade sake for the GMs. It makes sense. I mean, the Rangers definitely have one of the deeper prospect pools in the league. I think like top three. They definitely have a deeper prospect pool than Montreal. Definitely, they can afford to give up the assets for him. That's for sure. Um, they have so much there with the Ray. Jeff Gorton's done a great job with the last few years of just stockpiling the prospect pool, just like how Bergevin has done with the Habs and Pierre Dorian with Ottawa, guys like that. But yeah, no, that I think it's a good fit for him. I think the Rangers would be a good fit. Rangers are one of those teams. They could use a player like him for sure. I mean, the Rangers are already pretty good. I mean, Zibanejad's legit, right? Zibanejad's legit. Um, he can be a legit number one center. He's proved it. He scored like 40 goals last like the other year. He's so skilled. He scored 5 goals in a game last year. No, he's Zibanejad's legit. But I mean, wouldn't hurt to add a guy like Eichel. Have like a 1-2 punch like that. That would be freaking sweet. So yeah, no, I can see that. I honestly, they'd probably have to again give up one of their top prospects, or maybe even Mika Zibanejad. I think that might be a bit of a hot take, but or might not people agree with it. But I mean, maybe. Yeah, I don't think this will happen too. This might be another hot take, but maybe Lafreniere going the other way. Um, Buffalo might ask for Lafreniere. I don't know. Obviously franchise player and potential franchise player. I mean, personally, I don't think the Rangers do want to trade Lafreniere. I see a guy more like Capo Caco going the other way, and probably some other top prospects and maybe some picks. The Rangers have lots of work with there. I mean, so does Buffalo too. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting where he goes. I mean, I'm honestly expecting the Rangers at this point. Uh, it's a kind of a win-win for Jack too, so he doesn't have to really move much. Excuse me. Ooh, he just has to, he's still staying in New York State, so I mean, he's just going to a better team in New York. That's all. Um, yeah, man, the Rangers though they've had a lot of there's had some distraction this year, just internally, and off the ice or even in the locker room with Tony DeAngelo and obviously the thing with Artemi Panarin taking time off with the whole assault allegations and the Vladimir Putin shit. And man, they're just keeping it together though. So man, it's good for that team to keep it together, and they're still winning hockey games, and they're a fun team to watch. Oh, one thing I will say too, best rivalry in the league this year. The best fucking rivalry is the New York Rangers and Boston Bruins rivalry. It is by far the best. Holy shit, just reminds me so much of that old time hockey. Just so gritty, so physical. I love it. Whenever there's a Rangers Bruins game on, I don't care what time of the day it is or what time of the week it is. I'm gonna tune in. I always tune in. I'll maybe not watch the whole game, but I'll watch like a couple periods and shit like that. Obviously you got stuff to do sometimes, but man, fuck that. They absolutely need a playoff series this year. They absolutely need one. So that would be really cool to see. And again, obviously, you got that classic Boston, New York sports rivalry. So there's that too. That's probably another big factor in it. Um, I think it was Phil Esposito. I met him too, by the way. I don't know if he told me this story or he was on. I remember. I don't know if I heard this story from him directly because I met him, or I heard him say it on like TSN or like whatever. They're talking about the whole Bruins and Rangers rivalry back in the 70s when it was bad. Those players fucking hated each other. And Phil was playing with the Bruins at the time, and yeah, he got traded to the Rangers. And I remember he said, I remember hearing a story that apparently when he got the call saying that um, he got traded to the Rangers. He's literally said that I can't remember the GM was at the time. He's like literally like, you got to be fucking kidding me. So you trade me, and out of all the teams, you fucking trade me there. And he was so mad. Apparently, he had like some like fast food for lunch. He like literally fucking threw it out the window or something like that. So they threw it against the wall or something, or like threw it out the window. He was not happy about that. And again, they hated each other. When I mean hate, like they like fucking despised each other. Just like the Habs and Bruins back then too, right? It was fucking huge rivalries. Fucking love that hockey though. I love that old time hockey. It's good shit. So yeah, we'll see what happens with Mr. Jack Eichel and um a fucking stupid game tonight, man. I'm so angry about that still. How they just fucking fucked the dog in overtime. Unbelievable. Okay, Adrian, just gotta calm down. It's just a hockey game. You're not playing on the team. You're just a fan. Kumbaya. Okay, I'm calm. Anyways, guys, this is it. It's getting late. Gotta edit this video and probably go to bed soon. So we're gonna cap it off here. Anyways, thanks for joining us today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter. So there's that too. Anyways, guys, thanks for joining me today or tonight. It's late night, Thursday night edition. Um, this is Adrian, and this is Project 24, and we are signing off.